Thanks. At the end of that last one, was a good question. Why didn't you play for Coach Falk and play football? He was very cool. He was a great PE teacher. He was a really nice guy. And he always wondered, because I went to all the football games, sit on the sidelines and talked to Bart and all my friends and rooted them on. I did. I walked down to the stadium and talked to him. It's because I was skinny. And I was always told I was too skinny to play football. That's what it was. I know. No one could catch you. I know. No one could. What did it matter if they could not touch you? Lance Allsworth, Bambi, why didn't you? It never occurred to me. I just always thought, they always told you had to be all Mr. Strong and Mr. Big to play football, and all the little skinny guys were pussies, and I wasn't, because George and it was George Lopez, right? George Lopez and Tony Gamboa were like, yeah, that little guy's tough. I took a hit out of bruise. They thought they killed me. I survived the hit. They were all like, oh my God, they stopped doing that drill because they thought it was hilarious. I mean, it's not now. You look at it, it's like most kids that probably would have done real damage to it would have hurt them. I'm just got a really hard head. I'm a really tough little guy. Yeah, I can sustain some tough stuff. So I should have played. I probably should have. I just didn't. I was always told, you're too skinny, you're too this, you can't do that. And then when I would go, and like I said, they hated me in PE class. Well, I liked the high stuff like Walter Payton when I cut through everybody. Gary Ward hated that. Oh, God, he hated that. Well, 1, I didn't listen to Ted Nugent. 2, I listened to George Benson. 3, I was faster than everybody. 4, I liked to run like Walter Payton and Gale Sayers. 5, I could do it. Which really pisses people off, especially when they can't catch you, and you juke through, and then you do a high step, and then you give them a leg and take it away, and it's like, whoa, and they get really mad. And I was raised watching a lot of very flamboyant black athletes, and had a lot of friends that were that way, and it's just the way you played, a little artisticness and style. I didn't talk trash. I just, I didn't start talking trash until people started talking trash to me. And we moved to Wyoming, and we played East Junior High, and I was playing against James Winfrey, and he couldn't catch me. And then so they were all talking about how I was a star, and then all the guys on the bench were like, my dad taught him a couple of things I should do. He said, hey, when he's doing this, do this, you'll get him in foul trouble. And it worked. And then he started getting really mad at me because, they were all intimidated because he's black, and I wasn't, because I had played with black athletes before, and so I was like, I can play with this guy. And plus I could jump, and I could run, and I could have some skills. So they were sitting there, it's funny, and the guys on the bench, Lee Davis was laughing about it, because there's other guys, Alan Sweets and some of the other guys on the team. Let me go in and guard that white guy, and I would run by the bench and go, and bring your mama, and the rest of your family too, because your star can't check me. And Lee would laugh. Lee Davis was a good friend. We became friends. I had a crush on his sister. Oh God, Debbie was so gorgeous. But I'd run by the bench, and I'd say this stuff, and I'd just look at him and I'd wink. Let me go in and guard that curly-headed white boy. He thinks he's all bad. I was like, I ain't thinking nothing. I'm just playing ball, man. Come guard me. It was funny. And then the coach, he shut me down a couple of times. Well, the games were real close because he had to spend so much time triple teaming me that we were able to play with him. So it was really fun. And Charlie liked that. He wanted to beat him, though. That was Charlie's big thing, is he really wanted to beat East. They'd never won a game, and then we won half the games that year. And then we almost beat East in the playoffs. We lost by like 3 points. And Charlie was like, dang, it hurt. He wanted to win real bad. Charlie Robinson wanted that game. I wanted it for him too. I made a mistake. I got too frustrated with all my teammates, and I did a crossover and then a behind the back, and David Brady was waiting on it, and he stole the ball as soon as I went, and he was waiting on me. They set me up good, and coach got mad and took me out the rest of the game, and then we lost. Yeah, I didn't know. I told him after the game, too. I said, I did not know they were triple teaming me. I just thought David just got faster. David was a good ball player anyway. I really liked playing against David. I liked David a lot. I liked James. And I was dating his stepsister, and she sits there and tells me, that night it was funny because we were sitting there and they were having dinner. And she thought, well, my dad, my stepfather, and his kids are coming over for dinner tonight. I walk in, and there's James and his sister. I know that white boy. He's that big mouth white boy from Oregon. And I was like, hey, how's it going? Oh, man, I talked a lot of shit to you on the basketball court. Yeah, you did. And then his dad is huge, and I'm like, shit. Oh, and his dad watched, and his dad was cool with me, though. He was like, man, yeah, you got game. You're not a bad boy. You could back it up. You talked with smack, but you could back it up. So, hey, and then started talking to me about terror. Yeah, it was interesting. He was not a terrible man. He was a very good man. He was very funny. I told you that one night we went and picked her up for a date, and it was a prom night. We weren't going to a prom. Eddie Murphy's on TV, you know, going, "Hi, Dad. It's prom night. This is a special show for prom night. You know how long it took your daughter to get dressed and put in that dress? We only take that boy 10 seconds to lift it up over her head." And I'm like standing there like looking at him like, "Oh, really, Mr. Winfrey? I'm not going to. Tara's not wearing a dress. She's wearing pants." It's Wyoming. It's cold outside. I'm not going to do nothing. I promise I would not, offend a man of your size. And, I mean, I want to do something, but then he'd look at me. That's when he'd laugh, and "Is she giving you any?" "No." "I wish." I wouldn't say that, but I'm thinking it. Why? Because I'm a 15-year-old kid. I think I just turned, I don't know, I was 14. I think it was 15. 1981. Born in 66, 1981. Yeah, I was 15. Okay. I was held back a year by my mom. Yeah. Because I was the runt. I was small. I got pushed around a lot. I was smart and avoided people, but it was nice to go an extra year. And we developed slower in my family. And the men just kind of developed slower. Not this way where, physically we look younger and we don't start changing and getting more, with the hair growing and everything. I had beard by the time I was 12. I mean, mustache. I got the hair in, but I was just a skinny kid. The Ralph Macchio kind of body is. Like Ralph Macchio is. I was like that, yeah. Different skinny than him, but yeah, I looked like him. I looked like Ralph Macchio a lot. My picture in the yearbook at Dean Morgan, I looked like Ralph Macchio with mustache. Yeah, Karate Kid. Yeah, and I was lean. I was real skinny like him. Different kind of body style, but yeah, if you see that picture 222, Mike Riley and his friends, and you'll see me, I'm sitting there, I'm always thin. I was always thin. I was always lean. Different body style, but very thin. And yeah, pictures I have when I was a teenager and stuff, I was always very lean, extremely lean, very fast, fast and could jump. Me and Bob could clear fences, just run and jumping fools. Because you're light, you're lean and you're skinny, and you're like a gazelle. You can just take off and just. I still don't run fairly bad. I still have some decent quickness when I get myself feeling in better shape today when I'm crossing the road. I notice you still run fairly well for an old guy. Yeah, I do. It's part of our genetics, and it's survival. It's definitely for survival. You have to be quick and on you, because the guy in a Mustang almost ran me over. And it's funny because I was just listening to that when I talked with that feed. I think you're fired, or it's when you're fired off the family one, where they might have somebody driving while you're crossing the street to hit you. Just when I said that, right after I almost got hit by that Mustang in the crosswalk on Main. That part of the video came on. I was like, dang, good thing I was watching. I would have looked really stupid if that car would have hit me. It's fun. Yeah, I saw him. I looked back, and I saw the little son of a buck just come. I was like, man, they just in such a hurry to run you over. They got places to go in those cars. I've got a world to destroy. Ralph, why are you walking in front of me? I got to run over you. Boy, but he'd have been embarrassed that he found out. He ran over the Messiah, wouldn't he? Boy, that last lap would have been on him. Actually, I probably would have been fine. I would have been able to jump up and step on his hood on his nice Mustang. That would have been funny, huh? I think it would have been hilarious, because that's exactly what I would have done. Jumped up and then maybe even just kind of threw my shoulder into his windshield and cracked it. That would have been even more funny, wouldn't it? Sit there and say, and then I could have sued him, because that's the American way, right? And pretended I was hurt worse than I was. Act like I have soft tissue damage and stuff. Make lots of money off this guy because he has a nice car, so he's probably got really nice insurance. Even though I know it's not going to really hurt me that bad, but I could sure hurt his windshield. Next, note to self, next time don't jump out of the way, jump up. Oh, sorry about your windshield. I think I'm really hurt. Let me see your insurance card. Let me get your phone number. Oh, this is right in front of the marketplace. There's tons of witnesses. You're not going anywhere. And the police station is just a block down the road. Oh, State Farm, that's good insurance. All right. Yeah. I had a friend that used to do that in the service. Yeah, he used to let people hit him. Then they stopped insuring him because it happened like 3 times in 2 years. But he would let them. He would watch how they drive. He had great anticipatory skills. One time my friend Donald was driving with him, and he was there like, don't go driving ahead. Why? And Heb told him, he goes, relax. If you get uptight, you're going to hurt yourself. And he tensed up, and he hurt his back. And Eric was like, you got to relax. Just go with it. Bless Congratulations and peace.